New this morning, as book bans become more prevalent around the country, lawmakers in Colorado want to set some boundaries. Specifically, they are debating who should be allowed to ban books in our public schools.
It is a controversial issue that already has people on both sides speaking out. 9 News reporter Anusha Roy joins us live from the Capitol. And Anusha, what would this legislation change?
Hey, Corey and Jordan, we're just getting word that actually the hearing for this has been pushed back to Monday afternoon in the Education Committee. But the way that this legislation is written right now, it's essentially trying to create a standard process. It would be asking public schools to come up with a committee to basically go over any request to ban a book. It would also be creating a form that only students and parents of students attending that school could use. Then that committee has to have unanimous consent before banning any books. Now, if a family is still uncomfortable with certain books in the library, they can always make sure that their own kids don't read it, but they have to make sure that other kids still have access. The proposed legislation also includes more protections for educators from retaliation. Now, all of this is coming as the American Library Association, which is against book bans, is tracking an ongoing rise in attempts to censor books, with most of that effort focused on books written by or about a person of color or a member of the LGBTQ+ community. We had a chance to talk with One Colorado, that is an advocacy group for the LGBTQ+ community, that is welcoming this proposed changes, but said that this is just the first step.
So I think what's really important about this legislation is that for probably the first time for a lot of students, they're seeing themselves represented in certain content that is in schools. For LGBTQ kids, I think that this is really, really important because young folks see content that reflects who they are, and schools at the end of the day should be here to protect every student, and that includes LGBTQ students.
We also heard from the Colorado Association of School Executives that said that there are parts of the bill that they agree with, like making sure people can't just come in and demand that books be removed, especially when they don't live in the area or have a connection to the school. But they, however, do want to see some amendments to it that gives districts more flexibility to make decisions that are tailored to their communities and families. We also heard from the conservative activist group called Moms for Liberty. They've been involved in pushing for book bans nationwide. They're also weighing in on this state proposed law, calling the legislation burdensome beyond belief and saying that parents should have more say on the issue, writing, quote, age-appropriate material is a basic parental right. So, of course, as this bill is kind of going through the different phases, going through the debate, we are expecting and wouldn't be surprised if the language around it and if changes were made to that proposed bill. We'll, of course, keep you updated as we learn more throughout the legislative session.
Yeah, this is an incredibly heated topic for sure. Again, as Anusha was saying, it's been pushed back to Monday, but we know you'll be keeping an eye on it and let us know what happens. Thanks, Anusha.